But good morning, Bob Cesca.
I'd like to think you're doing it in my honor,
yes.
Stephanie.
That's it.
Yes. Because our bike riding convergence is never dangerous or awkward, is it?
I can't. You know what? I could drop you off a cliff near the Hollywood sign if you come riding with me here.
That's right.
I have a much higher drops to.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to drop me. I would just ride off the cliff, evidently. That's because that's what I do.
Like Toonses, yes.
That's it. Yeah, I'm Toonses.
Because I'm
the cat who could, yeah.
Because you're a liberal helper, you tried to help Herschel, didn't you? You said, good idea, Herschel.
Oh, yeah.
Extend and amplify the story for much longer than its normal shelf life. These Trump Republicans don't know how to STFU, always making things worse for themselves. But please, keep talking about the abortion you paid for every day. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah. This is what they do. This is what Trump does every day.
Yes.
You know, there are several phrases that they could do better to learn. Like, for example, no comment. That's one.
Right?
Yes.
It's not the policy of this office to discuss an ongoing investigation. That's another one I think maybe Donald Trump could learn, and Herschel Walker for that matter. So. Yeah, they'll never learn it, though. And the fact that we're talking about it, saying they should learn it, means they definitely won't learn it.
And that they will lie about anything, and their strategy is always to double down and lie some more. That's has exactly literally the receipts from the abortion clinic, his check, the get well card with the check in it, signed by him, and it's still they'll still defend it, right?
I love that he sent a greeting card, though.
Yes.
Isn't that just the silver lining of
happy
courtesy?
Abortion? Yeah.
Yes, I'm paying for your abortion. I wonder if that would be a great greeting card to hand out, to have available. Is Hallmark on this?
I didn't realize Hallmark had that section.
Yes. So I'm paying for your abortion, ... And you open it up and there's a little song that plays.
Sad emoticon.
Colbert actually did a spoof commercial last night. That a Hallmark.
Oh, did he?
The Hallmark Herschel collection. And it was it was literally a card that included a blank check inside. Here's a check. Fill in the amount for that thing that you said I did, that I didn't think I did, that I'm going to deny that I did, that I didn't pay for, but I totally did.
Right. Could just be. It could cover a bunch of things that he might have done.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's very non-specific. It's like an all-purpose
domestic
card.
violence could be, but you never know.
Card.
Okay, all right. You had tweeted someone needs to rabbit season, duck season Herschel into admitting he's allegedly played for abortions, and you said, as I predicted here. So this was before this happened,
right?
That was September 24th, because it's an easy prediction to make. I've made that prediction with Donald Trump for a long time now. I think if someone really dug into Donald Trump's canceled checks, I think they would find some.
Well,
I know Michael Cohen actually kind of denied it. He said at one point, I don't remember, funneling money to one of Donald Trump's women to pay for an abortion, but he could have had another route to do that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm assuming that was the case with Trump too.
Yeah, I was saying yesterday, I hope this causes a pink tsunami of women coming forward about hypocritical Republicans. Because, Bob, meanwhile, back here in the real world, Kate Smith tweeted, new student athletes in Florida have to agree to have their period tracked in order to be eligible to play. The state bans abortion after 15 weeks, no exceptions for rape or incest, and the parents of a minor have to be notified and give consent. I mean, this is the real world that these hypocrites want to force women to live in.
Right. You mentioned the two exceptions, rape and incest, but apparently Dana Loesch, is it Dana Loesch? Dana Lash?
It's Lash, but we say
Lash.
Loesch. It looks like Loesch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dana Lash apparently has one exception that she's okay with.
Right.
51 Senate votes.
Yep.
Yeah.
She'll make an abortion exception to get to 51 Senate votes, not for rape, not for incest, not for a medical emergency, but if you need to get to 51 Senate votes, let fly, have all the abortions, pay for all the abortions you want.
Abort all the kids that you want.
Right. Yeah.
Just drop those values.
Yeah. Her closely held religious values are negotiable, apparently.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Okay. So we were saying, sadly, Herschel Walker's fundraising went through the roof when he denied this, right? And
of course,
that race, I mean, shockingly, is still close. You were talking about a new national poll. Which party do Americans want in control of Congress? 36% GOP, 11% not matter, lean GOP, 34% Democrat, 10% not matter, but lean Dem, 8% not matter, no lean. And you said, what the hell happened between August and now? The non-issue thing that pisses me off the most about American politics, voters and their ridiculously short-term memories. I find myself, I'm not understanding how anyone could vote for a Republican. I mean, it's not just abortion, it's everything, right? Wanting to get rid of your Medicare, Social Security. They don't want to cap your insulin. It's just on and on and on. They don't believe in free and fair elections.
Exactly. There's a certain layer of casting a vote that is personal, that you do because of your own values and your own interests. But at the same time, there's a broader interest in, voting. And that is the societal interest and what's best for the society. And what we see here with these numbers where, there was the generic vote was much more favorable for the Democrats back in August when all these bills were being passed and everything seemed to be moving along extremely well. And then now people are, well, what have you done for me lately? It's that attitude. It's we more, or else we're just not going to vote for you. And we're going to bring in the fascists here because we're concerned about, whatever it is, inflation or whatever the news media is telling people to be concerned about today. So that's what's frustrating about it. It's that short attention span. The inability to remember what just happened. What was going on a couple of years ago when the Republicans were in charge of the White House and it was mayhem and they invaded the Capitol and then there were co-conspirators who were also members of Congress. Oh, we should bring those people back. Those people should be in charge again.
Yeah.
That's what drives me nuts the most. It was like after the 8 years of George W. Bush, we had 8 years of Barack Obama. When Donald Trump got elected, it was the same thing. Let's go back to that chaos.
But they don't govern. It's Ron DeSantis in his dainty white boots is a perfect example, right? He didn't fix like property insurance stuff or, obviously like they need bottled water. And he spends $12 million illegally kidnapping people that are here legally. And sending them to Martha's Vineyard. I mean, it's just they don't govern. They are internet trolls, basically. And so, I mean, you were talking about, Doug Mastriano says if he's elected governor of Pennsylvania on day one, he will ban pole dancing, porn, and critical race theory in elementary school. And you just said 1, invent ludicrous issue. 2, convince suckers and rubes to believe ludicrous issue is real. 3, invent ludicrous solution.
Rubes. So many rubes.
Thank you.
Rubes, please, no rubes.
Yeah, and they're all lined up for Doug Mastriano for sure. And this is one of those things where when you erode trust in the news media, when you erode trust in facts and reality, you can get away with anything. It's like once you get to that point where your people no longer believe what they read in the news or what their leaders tell them, you can start telling them all kinds of crazy stuff like, oh my God, they're teaching pole dancing in elementary schools.
Yeah.
They're doing all these horrible things to children. They're grooming and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And of course, they're all going to believe it. They're all going to suck it down like baby birds. All Doug Mastriano has to do is regurgitate all this nonsense down their gullets.
Right.
And they'll accept all of it. It's astonishing.
I love that the National Security Party, we're now talking about a president that has stolen top secret classified documents, including nuclear secrets. Mm-hmm. This now hinges on the Supreme Court on Clarence Thomas, our national security. And I just retweeted Kurt Eichenwald, who said, imagine how this country would be if protest voters had taken the 2016 election seriously. Reproductive rights protected, voting rights strengthened, money in politics limited, no Nazis in the streets. And if you say this is no way to reach us, nothing tried has reached you. And you said protest voters are all about me, rather than considering the societal ramifications of their contrarianism. The sooner they learn that elections are binary choices, the better off we'll all be. I mean, that could not be starker than right now, right?
Absolutely. When you see the stakes as they are right now, which is basically like the United States, the American people are walking on a tightrope, and that tightrope is the Democratic Party. Below is a pit filled with broken glass, alligators, and sharks with laser beams on their heads. That's the Republican Party. And if we abandon the Democratic Party, there's only one other option, and that's to fall off of that tightrope and land in the pit full of broken glass, alligators, and sharks with laser beams on their head.
Yes.
That is what happens in an election when you engage in a protest vote or you decide, they're both sides are the same, I'm going to stay home. Why bother voting? And that's what we get. We end up with this,
both
whatever
sides
this
do
is,
it.
this Republican, this fascist idiocracy that the Republicans want to bring about.
You retweeted someone saying Bill Maher pushing to replace Kamala Harris as VP. For some reason, she's an off-putting person, he said. And you just said Maher is well on his way to the dark side. Biden and Harris generally have the same approval number, yet she in particular is hectored as an off-putting person who's not very popular and was gifted the vice presidency due to identity politics.
Yeah,
and it's
that's exactly what he said. It was about identity politics, and that any replacement of Kamala Harris is going to be all about identity politics. This is Bill Maher going full like anti-affirmative action, that sort of thing. It was like in the 80s and 90s, the Republican gripe against quotas and so on was that it was unfairly elevating black people. And you see the difference. I mean, Kamala Harris, as I said, Joe Biden, about the same approval number.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between these two people?
Yeah.
I wonder what is, what you can notice on as you're scrolling through Twitter or something like that. Yeah, it's very obvious why Bill Maher was saying that, because women face that all the time. It's the shrill thing. Why is she always
She's
shrieking?
just not likable.
She's such a harpy. Yeah, exactly.
And then when she smiles, they go, "Oh, she smiles and laughs too much."
Yeah. I mean, you can accept it. Was remember the 2020 campaign when you had all the Democrats up there. Anytime there were yelling men all over that debate stage, but as soon as a woman would raise her voice, even the slightest bit, namely Kamala Harris, it was, oh my God, why is she shrieking? Why is she so shrill? Why can't she stop yelling? And the dichotomy was glaring.
Yes, Hillary's not authentic. And meanwhile, you tweeted fake hair, fake teeth, fake skin tone, fake masculinity, fake height, fake weight, fake wealth, 2 fake elections, fake promises, fake grievances, fake spokespeople, fake policies, fake wall, fake business success, fake brags. Literally everything about Donald Trump is fake. Except, he can, do we have that? He can catch a Sharpie. Hang on a second.
19.
Right.
Yeah, 19.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, here he is.
I got more publicity for catching the hat. It was from a long distance. Catching the hat and catching the pen that was thrown at my foot. That was probably, I got better publicity on that than I did anything else. It's sort of crazy.
Yeah. It's those cat-like reflexes that were also...
How could he catch something that's thrown at his foot? There's no way he can bend down and catch something.
So, of course, Don Jr. had to brag about it. And you said, with a lumbering mess of a dad, I guess you have to lean on small successes like catching a pen. Congratulations. A few more years, he might be ready to take the cork off his fork.
Yeah, I mean, my God, talk about a low bar. Holy God. You know what we have to do now is advertise and market the fact that Dad caught a pen. Isn't that amazing? He also sat up and had a bit of cake in the corner. Like the low bar for Donald Trump is astonishing. What they're willing to hang their hats on, what they're willing to give him like a giant participation trophy for, is he caught a hat and a pen.
All right, that was you know what? That was a bit of body slam that first segment.
Wow.
Let's just take a moment.
Yeah, I need a drink.
Okay.